Hello, everyone. How are we? Thank you very much. Welcome to Upscale Conf. Welcome to Upscale Conf San Francisco Alibaba Cloud Workshop. My name is Xavier Liu. I am the lead of AI creatives at Alibaba Cloud based in London. I'm so excited to be here in San Francisco for these 2 days. Surrounded by so many, AI creative technologists, founders, artists, and the people who are really shaping where AI creativity goes next. So today, we have a very special hour planned for the audience. We're not only going to just talk about the theory. We will cover the theory in a bit. But moreover, we're going to get our hands dirty. We're going to show you guys the magics of what's possible behind Alibaba models with Magnific platform. And to achieve that, I've also invited 2 amazing absolute rock stars in the AI creative world. Paige Pinskin, who is a creative technologist, award-winning VFX artist, and AI artist. Jagger Waters, who's also another award-winning AI storyteller. So Paige and Jagger, they will demo 2 distinct AI workflows using Magnific platform with Alibaba AI models like Wen and Happy Horse. All right, shall we get started? Let's go. So when people hear about Alibaba business, right, raise your hand. How many of you guys think about shopping or e-commerce? Here we go. You're not wrong. We are the very first and the largest e-commerce platform in mainland China. Some of the brands probably you've heard of like Taobao, Tmall, and AliExpress. But apart from e-commerce, we also cover other business units and segments, such as the mapping services, the logistics, the live streaming platforms, and the entertainment. What I want to mention is that all of those business units and segments, they have been embracing AI and technology provided by Alibaba Cloud and Tongyi Lab. So if we use a diagram to visualize this relationship, right, you can really see that Alibaba as a conglomerate, the ecosystem sitting in the middle, radiating out all of those business units, segments in e-commerce, in logistics, in mapping services, embracing AI technology provided by our Qwen model family. For instance, in e-commerce, Qwen can already support, product description, product video generation, customer services, and campaign management, campaign optimization. So what does this mean to our customers, partners, and the wider community, right? We are offering this 5A cloud strategic proposition to the community, to our customers, to the partners. If you look at your left-hand side, those 5 A's are the Alibaba Cloud offering the AI innovation with global leading AI technologies and open strategy. We believe in open source. Some of the models you've used like Wen 2.2, Wen Animate, those are all open source models because we want to support the individual developers, the individual creative artists, right? We are not only a model layer provider, we are offering this full stack cloud plus AI technology. We are one of the only 2 companies in the entire world positioning this go-to-market strategy, cloud plus AI together. Our technologies and services are covered anytime, anywhere in the world. And speaking of anywhere, I just want to show you guys the global footprint map we have covered currently. In order to empower AI anywhere, you need robust infrastructure, the data centers anywhere in the world. Alibaba Cloud currently covers 31 global regions. So you can think about regions as markets, countries with over 101 availability zones with over 3,200 edge nodes. And you can see that the majority of the data center infrastructure centers are covering the APAC region. And as a result, we are the #1 cloud and AI provider in APAC region in terms of market share. And this year, we're very proud to announce that we are launching new data centers in South Korea, Malaysia, in Europe as well, in Frankfurt, in Paris. We are committed to becoming the globalized AI provider. So when it comes to AI model family, we call it the Qwen model family, right? Some of you might heard of Qwen already. We are categorizing our AI model family into those segments. The first one is the LLM, large language models, such as our latest, the Qwen 3.7 Max and Qwen 3.6 Plus. Those have been achieving, increasing adoption in the AI LLM arena community. But more relevant to today's workshop is the content generation models in the middle, in video generation, image generation, and even avatar generation, such as Wen 2.7 or Happy Horse models. So today, Paige and Jagger, they will fully utilize Wen and Qwen image, Z image, Happy Horse, those models to demo the workflows. As I mentioned, we are committed in open strategy. We believe in open source because we want to support the individual developers, the SMEs, right? As a result, by January 2026, we hit the #1 world largest open source model families with over 400 open source models available on the open source community, with over 1 billion downloads of open source models, with over 200,000 derived open source models. So we are really proud that we hit those milestones. Another milestone we really want to highlight is the consistent partnership collaboration with the IOC, International Olympics Committee. We have successfully delivered 4 major Olympic Games with the Olympic Committee, such as the most recent Milano Cortina 2026. So all of those AI technologies you've seen in the Olympic Games, like AI colorization, 360-degree camera replay, slow motion capturing replay, those are all powered by Alibaba Cloud with Qwen model family. All right, so that's enough for the theory part. Now let's warmly welcome Paige Pinskin. Come on to the stage to demo one workflow. Paige, come on up. Off to you.
All right. You have that clicker? Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Technology is evolving rapidly. Creative teams are adapting. Technology has opened a door that never existed before, and now we can move at the speed of our ideas. My name is Paige Piskin. I'm a creative technologist and creative director. I've been working in the digital media space for about 15 years now, pivoting every step of the way. Eventually, I started working in the augmented reality space. Sorry. 1 second. There we go. Eventually, I started working in the augmented reality space where I got to create campaigns for brands like Netflix, Warner, Bratz, Walmart, MGA, many others. And I created campaigns that have amassed around 400 billion impressions. This led me to work in AI, as I found it was so helpful for me to expand my workflow so that I was able to take on more projects while still staying creative and still staying at the front of the creative work that I was doing. Pushing through, I started working on fully AI projects just about 2 years ago, working with brands, working on some fun projects for myself. This one in the middle was my first time creating a fashion campaign. The one on the left was the first time trying to emulate the AR experience with AI. And on the right was one of my first client projects that was for the Met Gala and Higgsfield to just kind of show what AI was capable of about a year ago. And so just to move forward, let's click through. This led me to create fully AI and partially AI fashion campaigns for swimwear brands, TA3. The middle one is, unfortunately, you guys have to see me in a bathing suit today, which is a little awkward, but hey, the project came out kind of fun. But yeah, this was a really fun project because I got to create a fully AI campaign as well as a partially AI campaign. What I mean with that is that we wanted to use real photographs and not steer away from authentic product integration. For brands, it's so important that you use the product and display it authentically. And that's why, a brand like TA3 wants to make sure that their product looked as real as possible. So we used real photographs, and I used AI to be able to use first and last frame to create a fully AI video while making sure the product was displayed as correctly as possible. We also created a fully AI concept where I was on a beach somewhere while I was actually sitting at a computer in my pajamas, hunched over like this. So that was pretty fun. And so today I'm going to show you guys how I use Alibaba's models to actually create creative campaigns for clients and give you guys a little walkthrough of my process using Spaces. And so I believe that's it. I'm going to jump out of that and open up my video. And so this is the video that I created using Spaces and Alibaba's models. So just to give you guys like a walkthrough before it pops up, I decided to use a Jean-Paul Gaultier perfume and to create my own self as a robot character that looked like it was like the bottle. I wanted to create a character that felt like it was from the future because I believe that it's important to use AI where we can't do certain things in real life so for me, using robots is something really fun because right now that's something kind of inaccessible that feels like it's just so awesome to see it done with AI. So here's the video that I created as a concept commercial. Thanks, guys. All right, and here is my space. This is the space that I used to create this workflow. The cool thing about this is that I did this really in less than an hour only because I was waiting for generations. Technically, something like this could be recreated in just a couple of minutes. And so what I did was I found a beautiful image of the product that I thought really just expressed it properly and was high quality enough to be able to be used in the AI model. You want to make sure that all of your images are at highest quality, as well as the images of your characters. This is my character. It's a little bit of a hybrid between me and something that doesn't exist. But I created this outfit on it to really resemble this bottle and be something that has never been seen before. I added a little bit of like a creative goth kind of element, which I always add to my work. And I moved into the image generation where I used Quen. Here are some of the images that I created where I wanted to just kind of mood board what I wanted from my videos. But what I actually like doing is I like leveraging AI as a co-creator and a collaborator. I've actually shifted away from micromanaging every aspect of my work to actually allowing AI to be my collaborator and actually make decisions for me. The reason why I like that is because I want to be kind of in between producer and viewer. I want to be the audience, but I also want to be the person that produced the campaign. So I like to see what AI creates and then select the pieces that feel most authentic to me, which is how I kind of allow my taste to guide me while also being surprised by the result at the same time. And so shifting from Quen into video generation, I used WAN 2.7. And what you do here is you just load up your assets. So over here, taking your images, and you just connect them to the image input here. And then you generate. And so I used a variety of very simple prompts because I wanted the model to get as creative as possible. I didn't go too detailed in the descriptions of the background and anything. I just kind of allowed it to get very creative. So I have shots that are close up of the hands holding the bottle. I wanted it to feel kind of romantic at the same time because I feel like perfume is something so personal and it's something that we experience in a kind of a romantic way. And so I wanted it to feel like she was discovering perfume for the first time and falling in love with it. And I feel like it kind of came across a little bit in how she moves. And so these were some of my videos. I got some beautiful close-up shots. The only challenge when you're generating like this is maybe there are certain things that might be off continuity-wise, but I felt like Juan really captured continuity and the character was displayed properly and accurately across all the video generations. And the product size seemed to be also expressed pretty well, considering that I didn't have any details about the sizing in my images or in my text. So it handled it beautifully. Okay, and so moving on, these were all the videos that I generated. I didn't generate any others to achieve that, which is why I was saying that in less than an hour I was able to achieve this and potentially could duplicate this workflow in a matter of 5 minutes if I wanted to from scratch. I also generated the music using 11 Labs, which was an amazing experience as well. They have some really powerful audio generators, and so I used prompts like chill, EDM, vibey mood with a sensual beat, and we had some really great options I'll play for you guys. And so when I heard that one, I thought it was just way too, basic for this project. I wanted something that felt a little bit edgier. So I continued trying out a variety of different prompts, changing it as I went. And this one was another one that I really liked as well. And so even with something that's so simple, like this prompt, it allowed the model to get very creative with what it created for me. And so hearing that one, I was like, it's pretty close as well. And then I had this one. And this is the one that I went with. And so when you're selecting music for your projects or your commercials, I try to find something that builds. I never want to start with something that's too dramatic. I want it to build into the experience. Same with the visuals as well. And whenever I've created campaigns, that's kind of where you create emotion as people are watching it and experiencing it. And yeah, so that was my sound that I went with. And as you guys saw, the result was this video. And so I felt that everything came together really well. It tied in the character beautifully. The results all the generations that I did came out really nice and worked really cohesively together. It even achieved a similar glow across all the frames across the board. So I didn't even have to do much color grading, which was incredible. And I really feel like it captured the emotion that I was trying to express, as if a robot was discovering perfume for the first time and falling in love. And so that's my project, and that's my workflow. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the questions. Thank you, Paige, for the amazing product, workflow on the fashion side. So for the next workflow, Jagger Waters, she's going to demo a cinematic storytelling scene using Magnific spaces and Alibaba models.
Yes.
Off you go, Jagger.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hi. My name is Jagger Waters, and I am a writer and producer that came from traditional film and media. It's great to see that we have some film students in the room. This is, I think, the future of education. I have learned more about cinematography, editing, sound design by using AI than I feel like I did before it came around. So today, I'm going to show you a 45-second video that I created using Happy Horse and Magnific Spaces. I am a Magnific creative partner, and I have the privilege of now using all of these great models where 3 years ago, I started using AI around 3 years ago when we didn't even have image to video. It was all text prompting. There was no character consistency, but I still challenged myself to tell cinematic stories and keep story at the center. So what I'm going to show you today is 45 seconds long. It's 15 shots. And there's no dialogue, because the challenge that I continually give myself, even though I love to write scripts, I love to build characters, is challenging myself to tell a story without any dialogue. As film students know, that's a really good way at pushing yourself. And if you haven't experimented a lot cinematically with filmmaking, that is a really great place to get started, because a lot of the interesting work that comes out of this space can be very dialogue heavy, it can be very narration heavy, and when you strip that away, you come back to the basics of storytelling that underscore all of this. So I will play it for you, and then I'm going to break down every single shot. Yay. Thank you, yes. Yes, playing around with Happy Horse was a blast. I think that it really achieved the realism. It understood the emotion that I was trying to put behind all of these different shots. Let me go back to... Yes, okay, so whenever I am working with a client or doing a personal project, it's important for me to remember that whether it's an advertisement, a commercial, a short film, it's gonna follow 3-act story structure, which was drilled into me, as a writer who came from more of a traditional storytelling background. Yeah, and I think that this is an example of why you don't necessarily need dialogue to build tension, to build suspense, to showcase different characters. And the experiment was really fun because I got to test Happy Horse's cinematography capabilities, which it understood very, very well. Yeah, and then using Magnific spaces and the platform benefits, which I will go over as well. So these 3 shots are what I would categorize as the act 1. Obviously establishing with this medium wide and meeting our hero character, the cowboy. And the second shot where I have this over-the-shoulder inciting incident, each of these shots that I created, they weren't random. I tried to limit the creativity of the model. With Paige's presentation, it was great that she wanted to push their creativity, but I try to limit that creativity so that I can achieve the exact the cinematography that I'm looking for. So we have this over-the-shoulder shot that shows this inciting incident where there's this mysterious bolt of energy or lightning coming from the sky. And then we show this low-angle silhouette and establish the villain. While I'm on this, the third shot when the alien vampire cowboy villain dropped from the sky, the thud that he made was actually generative in the Happy Horse model. So the Happy Horse model in Magnific will generatively create sound for you, which is really great, especially because the footsteps are usually accurate. It knows it understands what background noise should be included in that shot for you. The only thing that's interesting when video models include sound generation for you is that sometimes they will drop music, which if you're editing or creating a longer form project, you're never going to use that music because you need something that underscores all of it consistently. So I usually cut the music out, but I preserve things like footsteps, thuds, the sound of a gun being removed. So all of that that came from the model itself. And then moving into the act 2 of the piece, we have this close-up action where the cowboy essentially his interest is piqued and he starts charging forward. And I continue with this low-angle silhouette of the villain character, kind of putting him in this position of ominous power, which is, if you went to film school, you understand that's the purpose of these different shots, whether you're shooting low angle, high angle, profile, they all contain different meanings and implications in traditional cinema, which is always important to keep in mind. And then I have this wide establishing action shot of the horse charging forward and cutting to the close-up and the reveal of this alien vampire figure himself. I have the cowboy draw his gun, cutting a little bit faster here to build the tension, and cutting to a close-up side profile of the villain character to show his suspense, right? The villain is moving very slow, step by step, but the hero character is charging in very quickly with a lot of energy. So those dynamics were intentionally imbalanced to create the tension. I show a medium shot of as the cowboy's approaching with the gun facing the camera, which was I was very happy with what Happy Horse did with that. I think this was probably one of the first 3 generations that I got with this shot, which was a pretty good hit rate for using these generators. And I cut to, the ultimate standoff shot where I have the wide 2 shot of both of them and the creature elevates or levitates into the sky. And basically build tension with this medium close-up where the cowboy his eye line is going further and further up to match the eye line and consistency of the other shot, the low angle silhouette of the villain, and then where I had the breath and the heartbeat come in for this emotional climax, giving the most extreme close-up of the cowboy that we'll see in the whole piece, and ending with this final sort of threat and cliffhanger. So I hope you enjoyed the tension. I hope you feel inspired to create something without dialogue. Like I said, if you are just getting started in storytelling or cinema, that's a really great way to build your skills. These are a few gifts that I got from my Magnific Spaces board. I use this for character generation and getting multiple angles of the cowboy's face, of the alien vampire's face, to make sure that everything that I'm loading into the model is going to stay consistent character-wise. So that is the main purpose that Magnific Spaces served in this project. The spaces are very cool. If you have your laptop open and you have a Magnific account, I definitely recommend playing it with spaces. You can connect LLMs to image generators to video generators, and it's a visualized version of the workflow. But like the question that we had earlier about downloading and cutting images, or cutting video together, that is exactly what I did. So I took the favorited generations of every shot from this, and I dropped them into a video editor where I then added all of the sound and dropped a LUT on top for visual consistency. Yes, does anyone have questions about this workflow? or cinema or storytelling.
Thank you, thank you, Jagger. Thank you, Jagger, very much. So before we open the questions to the floor, I actually have a first question to you, Jagger. So you mentioned that you were a writer before, right? So way before AI became a thing. So what is the biggest difference between writing a script and now writing a prompt?
That's a good question. I would say that it still comes down to script writing. Just because there aren't any words doesn't mean there's not a script. So I did script this out. I used that script to create a shot list, and then I brought that into Magnific Spaces and Happy Horse. But as a writer, I think that before AI, I was very siloed. I came from a very traditional school of thought with filmmaking, where it's like just focus on your writing, stay in your lane. But now I've expanded the breadth of my own skills. So I can do editing, sound design, and like Paige was saying, just continually adopting and evolving with the technology, which has been, for me, one of the most inspiring parts of becoming part of this community and getting involved so early with AI film.
Feel free to follow Jagger's and Paige's Instagram or LinkedIn accounts. They keep posting amazing stuff. Thank you, Jagger.
Yeah, let me pull it up. This is me, if you want to connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn. So thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. This is pretty much about today's workshop. I hope you learned something. I hope you get more familiar with Alibaba's business and our models, and I'll see you around. And tonight, we're also hosting the after party at the Hibernia. So join us, get some bubbles, make some moves. I'll see you tonight. Thank you very much.